Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Just a second.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So you do toy reviews for Power Rangers, right? It,
Correct. Yes, yes, I do.
and I'm assuming that's your collection in the background.
Just a little bit. This is actually my Super 7 slash some Hasbro has Bandai. I got a lot more. It's just I was setting up for a video a few days ago, and this is how I have it set up.
Yeah. Sorry about that
Yeah.
before.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
I don't use StreamYard usually because I always have problems with it. That's why I usually use Zoom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I usually don't have any problems with StreamYard. Um, I usually do a podcast with a good friend of mine, and we do it on StreamYard. So
Yes, I think it's because my Wi-Fi. I don't have good Wi-Fi.
yeah.
So do you plan? So you said you do a podcast, right?
Yes, I do a podcast. It's called Cowabunga Rangers. It's on YouTube, and it's all about Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, all sorts of different, franchises. But basically, the concept originally was just Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles, but we have expanded to Marvel. We have expanded to all sorts of different franchise, everything from TV shows to the toys to the movies. We just talk about.
Yeah. So do you plan on doing interviews for your podcast?
Oh, actually, we did do an interview. We did one with a very famous person called Mark A. Richardson. He was the prop master for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, Mark A. Richardson, I interviewed him.
Yeah, really good guy. Really good guy.
Yeah, what about, do you guys have a plan to interview Ron Wasserman?
Oh, what was that?
Ron Wasserman, the music composer for
No,
Power.
we have no plans about any upcoming interviews yet. Not yet, but we've been talking about it, but we have not decided who.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you know about my podcast, right?
Yes, I believe I do. Yes.
Oh, you said you do stuff for Ninja Turtles too, right?
Yeah, we do. Well, like down here, I have you know the the newest Ninja Turtle right here.
Yeah.
You've seen these guys. Yeah.
I'm a Ninja Turtle fan and a Power Rangers fan.
Okay. Yeah. Same here. I've been that way since I was a young kid. Um. Yeah. I've been collecting. Well, since I was actually young. Um. A lot of the times I didn't even open the toys that I got for Christmas when I was a kid. I just kept them in
Yeah.
the boxes, and that was it. I was kind of an odd little kid. Let's put it that way.
I actually got the green and red Funko Pop Ranger, the green and red Ranger Funko Pop from the
Awesome.
30th anniversary ones.
Yeah. How are they?
Cool. I didn't open them.
Okay. So what is your? Let me ask you a question. What is your favorite Power Ranger series? I'm not saying characters. Series.
Mighty Morphin.
Mighty Morphin all the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
Is
also
there
see
any?
I like also St. John's fighting moves and stuff. Like you know, also St. John. I like
Yeah,
his
of course,
fighting
Red
style.
Ranger. Yeah.
What about yours?
Okay.
What's your favorite series?
Well, my favorite series would have to be Mighty Morphin, but that's kind of because it's kind of that's what I grew up on. That was my very first series was Mighty Morphin. But if I'm gonna actually, see, I've been watching all the series lately, and I think In Space is probably one of the best series out there.
Yes.
But for nostalgia, Mighty Morphin all the way for me. I grew up with JDF, Austin. I grew up with Amy, Joe Johnson, and all those people playing those characters. So it's always gonna have a place in my heart. Where the other shows are shows and they're good shows, but they're not. I'm not attached to
Yeah.
them. And something like me, people like me, the fan base of Mighty Morphin is what's keeping a lot of companies alive for this Power Ranger stuff. But Then you have other people that love that grew up with like let's say Ninja Steel or um
Beast Morphers.
Wire Force or something like or Beast Morphers or any of those other series. You know, people that grew up with those have the same nostalgia as I have for Mighty Morphin. And what happens then is, you know, companies are going, well, we're gonna put out Mighty Morphin first, and then everybody else is like, well, what about this one, or this one, this one? And of course, companies want to, you know, do that for people, but sometimes it's hard because you know people know the companies know like Hasbro, Super Seven,
Yeah,
McFarlane, all those companies know that Mighty Morphin is gonna sell no matter. But if you start with like Beast Morphers or something, people might just be like, well, you know, it might sell, might not. But if you start with Mighty Morphin, you're gonna buy them.
yeah, that's why Hasbro keeps on making Mighty Morphin stuff because it sells.
Yeah.
How do you think Hasbro has
Well,
done with the franchise so far?
well, actually, for the actual action figures, I'm not a really big fan of them. When it comes to the props, like the Dragon Dagger that's behind me,
Yeah,
that's Hasbro's. I have the Master Morpher behind the bad guys here. I think they did a good job on those. When it comes to quality control, you probably heard this several times. Quality control for Hasbro is really just no good. Super Seven's kind of getting that way too, though. So it's massive producers when it becomes problem. But the paint jobs, the look of the characters and all that, fantastic. I have no complaints about Hasbro's eye for detail. I don't have any complaints about any action figures anymore about eye for detail. But when you get up to $55 or up, you want to make sure they're 100% and not missing anything. So for me, Hasbro's a great company. Hasbro's been around for years, hundreds of years, in my opinion. I know they haven't been around that long, but it feels like it.
yeah,
Um, but Super Seven to me is actually better than Hasbro's characters.
yeah,
No, they don't have all the articulation, but the detail on these characters, the
yeah.
accessories that you got with these characters, so much more for the price. You know,
Sorry about the noise in the background. I'm outside because it's nice. It's nice outside.
it's okay. It's okay. No problem.
Yeah. So how do you think everyone's done with the show so far?
Uh, one show.
The Dino Fury and Beast Morphers and Once and Always. How do you think they've done with those movies?
Oh,
So
well, we can get into that. So, like I've been actually kind of lately for the last 2 weeks, I've been kind of watching them again.
yeah,
And right now I'm up to Jungle Fear. And what I've noticed is that Disney kind of has a hit and miss. The Disney years, they call them the Disney years. Uh, the Disney years of Power Rangers kind of hit and miss. Like Jungle Fury has a really good storyline. Uh, Dino Thunder had a good storyline. Ninja Steel, I mean, they all have their ups and downs.
yeah.
But I think
Just like any
when it comes,
franchise does, they always have the ups and downs.
that's like, well, yeah.
Yeah,
But see, the problem is there's too much. Like Bandai wanted to end it. I don't know if you know this, but Bandai wanted not Bandai, Saban. Sorry, Saban wanted to end it at in space.
yeah,
That was supposed to be the very last Power Rangers was supposed to be in space, and it would have been a great way to end the show or the franchise, let's put it that way. So when they went into Lost Galaxy, it kind of lost its edge because Lost Galaxy was kind of to me it was kind of boring. There was nothing to it. I mean, it was good characters and all that, but the story was kind of weak in my opinion.
yeah. Well, but and wasn't Wild Force supposed to be the last series also when they were supposed to end Power Rangers was Wild Force too? Because they had the episode called
Uh,
the end.
I don't know the behind the stories behind that one. I know Disney was trying to end it, and I think that was Jungle Forces when it was like the one I'm watching right now, Jungle Force. I think that's supposed to be where they're supposed to end it, but they haven't. I know they didn't end it because the Bond bought it back from them. Like I
Yeah,
think it's this series, the next series after that they bought it back. But yeah, Disney was trying to basically destroy Power Rangers and take it out because New Zealand contract or something like that. They were just done with the contract. They thought they could just end it, but Saban took it over and made the fans happy.
yeah.
So yeah.
So the last person you interviewed was thing on the Legacy of Nerd, right? The Legacy of Nerd. You know that
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I know the guy. Yes, yes. That was a great interview I had with him. Very informative. Uh, if anybody doesn't know his channel, you got to go watch it. He has all the ins and outs of Power Rangers. He got stuff that most people don't know. He's got a great team behind him, and I would love to have a team like that where I can get information from people that would bring it to me. I can report on it. I would love that. That'd be awesome. But that's something that comes later on in the YouTube career. You get people behind you and have
yeah,
stuff for you that's inside the companies or something. Same thing like with sponsorships. I don't get any of this for free. I pay for all. This is all mine. I pay for it out of my
yeah.
pocket.
There's not, but there are some YouTubers that get free stuff from Hasbro. I've seen that, and I always wonder how
Well,
I always wonder how that happens.
well, it's easy actually. It's not hard to do, but it's hard to bid. Basically, it's a sponsorship. Basically, they sponsor your channel, so they're giving you product to review, and you have to give them a good review. So there's two types of YouTubers out there. There's the true YouTuber that gives you true reviews, and there's the ones that are paid to review. And the ones that are paid to review usually don't tell you the 100% truth, and those ones are the ones that will tell you uh, that everything's great on the character, nothing's wrong with it. And then there's ones like me that will actually move the character around, and something will happen and explain, oh well, a defect or something, in
Yeah,
that line. Um, yeah, so it depends. People, like somebody could be watching Super Seven's Brian Flynn could be watching my channel, go, oh, all he does is Super Seven. Let's see if he will be interested in doing a sponsorship with us or a affiliate marketing affiliate sponsorship. And then what that means is here's the next line of Power Rangers or Transformers or whatever else they do, Disney characters or whatever, Ninja Turtles, and I would review them. And there's two ways they do it. One, uh, they let you have a toy, or two, you get to review it and send it back, and then they give you a cut of a discount on their stuff or something.
yeah,
But most of the time, it's for those kind of things. They're usually like, here's the toy, review it ahead of time, get it out there, let people know what you think of it. But most of the time, there's also a fine line where it says you have to make it look good, make it sound like people would want to buy it. So anybody that gets a sponsorship usually has some underlying business behind it. It's not just a straight, oh, it broke. It does this. It does that. Yeah, it's just what it is. For me, like I do an affiliate with Entertainment Earth, and I don't lie about it because there's no contract behind it. It's just you
yeah,
can sign up to do it, and that's it. And so, like anytime I do a review, this is where I buy them from, is Entertainment Earth. And when I do a review, I usually just send a link down in my the description and just try to get people to go buy from my reviews.
yeah. So, will you be interested in having other people on your podcast?
What was that?
Will you be interested in having other people on your podcast?
We've been talking about it, but we haven't actually gone that far yet because me and my other host, Mascara,
Yeah,
we talk business outside of the podcast, and at that point, we decide who we want to bring into it, how we're going to do our show, what we're going to be talking about, and so far we haven't brought anybody in to sit with us, and it's usually timing because like I live in Washington, he lives in Florida, so
yeah,
the time difference is so big,
yeah. There's
and to
different
find
time
someone that
zones.
to find someone that will be interested in sitting in at his time or my time could be very difficult. We're used to it. We're used to the time differences now where he goes, oh, I'm going to be off work in 20 minutes. Are you going to be up for a show tonight? Or something like that. And it's an oddity. Usually when people do podcasting, we were like maybe a state or two away or something. But one side of the United States to the other side of the United States, yeah, I don't know. I don't see us not bringing anybody in, but at the same
Yeah.
point, it would be have to be just the right person.
How many episodes have you done your podcast so far?
Uh, how many episodes? We're in the second season of our podcast. I don't know exact. I know it's been over 14, I believe. But yeah, it's up there.
This is probably my 19th episode. This is probably my 19th
Okay.
episode.
Yeah, we try to do one at least once to twice a month. Um,
Yeah.
but life gets in the way sometimes. And that's the other thing about being a YouTuber or something is that, life gets in the way. If you're not a full time YouTuber because you can't, because of money, life gets in the way, and that's the thing.
Yeah. Do you think I could be on your podcast one day?
Uh, Possibly. I would never say no to anybody, but again, to be just having to talk to him about it, or maybe the next time we do a live stream or something, maybe you can hop on then and talk.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I'm never gonna say no. It's just uh depending on the situation, what's going on, if
Yeah.
availability. I mean, even when we did the one with Mark Richardson, we had to make sure it worked for him as well as us.
Yes.
And that was the first time we ever did an interview, and the last time so far.
I
But not
actually
because it's yeah.
I actually interviewed Eric Bass, the stunt guy from Mighty Morphin. Eric Bass, you know who I'm talking about?
Okay. What was his name again?
Eric Bass. Eric.
Alex Bass. Yeah.
I interviewed him before.
How was it?
Good. He was nice.
Awesome. Very awesome. Yeah, I don't think anybody from that cast would be any want to be nice. I think anybody that's in a professional business is going to be very polite to everybody. You don't want to be rude to anybody when you're a professional because that just makes you look very bad. When you're having a fan, like a fan comes up to you like, "Hey, I want to talk to you" or something. You're not going to tell them no. You're going to tell them, I'm going. This is my time schedule. Can you fit me in this time? Or I can work this time. Are you open? Kind of like what's going on with us. We this is like what, our fourth or fourth or third attempt, something like that. Because every time something got up in the way, and yeah, so we had a little setback. Because this was supposed to be done like 2, 3 months ago.
Yeah, and then something came up.
Yeah. So uh, yeah, when it comes to planning, it's a very big deal,
Yeah.
and sometimes things come up in life, and you have to just put them off. So when you ask the podcast question that I cannot answer at the moment because I don't know what's going on. Like right now, I have a whole lot on my plate for my whole
Yeah.
life. I'm actually going to be leaving the country soon, so that should be fun. Yeah, my life has a little bit of a different life path at the moment, but stuff like the reviews ain't going
Yeah.
away, the podcast ain't going away. It's going to be timing. So all of it's going to be changing a little bit.
I actually was on a podcast, but they were looking at people. They were making mean people when they didn't get interviews. They were blaming it on me for not getting interviews.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I blocked those people because when they weren't getting interviews, they would always try to blame me for it.
Why would they blame you for that?
I don't
I'm
know.
confused.
I I actually don't know. I think they got jealous of me. Would be getting jealous of me or something?
Hmm. Well, there's no reason for that in life because that just means people people have this thing now uh where if somebody gets something else, it's not really jealousy. It's more my guess would be jealousy, but also envy, meaning that you
Yeah,
have something that others don't have. But on the same hand, is the personality might be different. You might come off a different way to somebody, and then that person asks the same person something, and they might just say, "No,
yeah,
I don't see why having an interview with you would be any different than me getting an interview with somebody else, or me talking to somebody who does something different." Yeah, I don't get that. That makes no sense.
yeah, yeah. But I don't worry about it anymore, to be honest.
Yeah.
So You say you do Marvel reviews too, right?
I do what reviews?
Marvel. You say you do stuff for Marvel.
Marvel. I do not, me personally, no. But like I said in the podcast, we talk about all of that kind of thing. My basic review is just Power Rangers, Super
Yeah,
7, Ninja Turtles. Uh, Sometimes just things I see in the stores, I will do quick YouTube shorts and yeah, stuff like that. It's whatever I can afford. Like I do have Hasbro reviews on my channel too, and like well, give me a second. Like, let's pull this guy out. Like him,
that's a Black Diamond
Diamond
Thunder
Thunder
Ranger.
Black. By Hasbro.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I know people on Facebook that still looking for this guy. I got him when it first came out. I bought him on pre-order from Hasbro, so I have the
yeah,
character. Um, I also have done custom 1993 Green Ranger monster
yeah.
on my channel, showing you how to disassemble it, reassemble it, paint it, put the stickers on it. Yeah, that was a fun. That one still gets views today. Stuff like that. I do whatever I can do. I mean, I have a whole vintage collection of Power Ranger stuff too
Yeah,
that I don't touch.
I like your collection.
Yeah, I mean, you got the big white Tiger Zord over here, back there. It's kind of a staple in my collection because it's something I got as a child,
I
but it's
got the
still
Dragon
100%
Zord.
there.
I
You
got
got
the
the Dragon
Dragon Zord.
Zord?
Yeah, from 1993. Won't
Nice.
forget.
The only one I have of that is the Super 7 Dragon Zord back there. Um, and that one's really nice. I mean, it doesn't, Super 7 doesn't transform or anything, but it's for what I'm looking for in my collection, it's perfect. You know, I don't need the transforming one because honestly, I'm not gonna play with it. I'm just gonna keep it
Yeah,
in that form anyway. And then I got the Megazord. My son has the actual Hasbro Megazord that transforms. It's not the as sword as mentioned. It's not the big expensive one, but it is the cheaper version of it. And it's just as good. I think it's actually better quality than the
yeah.
more expensive Hasbro one.
You seem like a cool person though to interview.
Oh, thank you. I just I take on my
Yeah,
I just tell it the way it is. Let's just put it that. I tell it the way it is.
yeah. I try to interview nice people and not mean people.
Well, some people just have different personality. I mean, not that you try. It's just you have somebody you're in mind of interviewing, and then depending on how they come across, I mean, you're gonna have both sides. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter. You could be the biggest fan of somebody, get that interview, and find out that it wasn't as fun as you thought it was.
yeah. So, so is there anything else you want to talk about?
Well, this is your interview. You're interviewing me, so whatever you want to talk about.
I mean, if you got anything you want to talk about, we can talk about that.
Okay, well, what's in your collection? What is your main collection of Power Rangers? Is it Hasbro, Super 7? Is it Bandai,
I got, I got,
SHS
I
stickers?
got basically out of Hasbro stuff.
Hasbro, okay.
Yeah,
So, uh, so is it just the main 30th anniversary line? Is it the basic line of the Hasbro
I
stuff?
got Beast Morpher figures. I got Dino figures. I got a Morpher, the Iron Fairy Morpher. Yeah,
Okay, nice.
I can send you a picture after we're done with this interview of my collection.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
So when did you start collecting Power
uh,
Rangers stuff?
I don't remember to be honest.
Okay. What's the oldest piece of your collection? Like, how old is it? Like, just the 1993 Vegas Award, or is it
I think the 1993 Dragon will be my oldest figure.
okay?
Yeah. So you collect stuff too, right? So do you go to collectible stores to collect stuff?
Do I have what?
Do you go to collectible stores and collect stuff, or just go to regular stores and collect stuff?
Well, personally, the stuff that I have that's probably still very collectible to this day is that's from my childhood. Like, let me show you real fast. A good example.
Mm.
These are still in the package.
Ooh,
These are Zio, original Bandai Zio. From my childhood, I never opened.
that's the Gold
Yeah.
Ranger one.
Uh-huh. This is the Gold Ranger. But yeah, so these are unopened Power Rangers from Bandai, actual Bandai. And I got these when I was a kid. I mean, there's Dusty and everything. And it's just, I have a lot of these actually. They're still in package. I
Who's your favorite Power Ranger
and they go.
character?
Uh, my very favorite Power Ranger figure is still going to be the Green Ranger, JDF. And it's the a character I, again grew up with. I love that character. I love how evil he was. I love how the storyline was built. But honestly, I have grown away from Power Rangers, and I am more of a Sentai fan. And I think the Sentai shows are actually better than Power Rangers. They are more, even though they were meant for kids, they are more adult-like. The
Yeah.
Sentai, and I like that. Like even the Zoo Rangers. That these characters, the Super Sentai characters, the Super Seven, are actually based on the Sentai characters and not actually the Mighty Morphin characters. Uh, even though they're the same characters, that sounds kind of funny, but when they did the molds for these, they looked at the Sentai show.
Yeah.
So they did these Sentai versions of this. That's why the color of the shield and all that is the way it is on the Green Ranger, and it's a big difference. Um, yeah, I like the Sentai shows better than I like the Power Ranger shows, but because of my podcast and being in the United States, when I talk about Power Ranger stuff, I want to make sure I watch the Power Ranger shows versions instead of the Sentai.
So you're more of a Sentai fan than Power Ranger fan?
I am more of a Sentai fan now than I am a Power Ranger fan. And that happened probably about 3 years ago because
Yeah.
I was flipping through YouTube and thought, hey, I'm wondering what the Japanese Power Rangers was like because I never grew up watching it. Because back in my day, when I was growing up watching Power Rangers on an old-fashioned CRT TV with cable and no internet or nothing. Because back then I had no internet. And so today I just, oh, not today, but 3 years ago I decided to type in Super Sentai Power Rangers and it came up Super Sentai Zhu Ranger. And I watched the whole thing on YouTube for free. And I just, like, it was like day and night to me. The whole concept of the Power Rangers, the way they are, the storyline is different than the Mighty Morphin. The Green Ranger storyline is different even. And it's just 100% better in my opinion, the storyline, the way the Power Rangers in that form is because it's not. I don't know. Have you ever seen Zoo Ranger, the Super Sentai?
No, not yet. I've seen
No,
the
not yet.
I've seen a Super Sentai movie.
Okay, so I'll give you a quick rundown. So in our Power Rangers, it's by teenagers with attitude, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the Super Sentai show, they are actually uh, warriors and princesses that went to sleep for 10,000 years after defeating Rita, or in this case, Bandora. And when Bandora and her henchmen escaped
That's
in
like
the
the Japanese
spin,
version of Where We Poster. That's the
yeah, Rita
Japanese.
Repulsa. So Bandora is Rita Repulsa in all case. Escapes from the dumpster, just like in the TV show. The uh, the elf master, I don't remember what his name is on the moment, but releases the main pod and find out that they still have the powers because it's Power Rangers. They didn't have to be handed down. They just were re-released because Rita got didn't have to trap Rita again back in the dumpster, destroy Rita, or whatever you want to consider it. And in the Green Ranger story, instead of being Tommy being taken by Rita, giving Ranger power, Um, in this case,
Yeah.
Green Ranger was also sleeping, or his name's actually Dragon Ranger in this case, but he's sleeping and he was locked away, not ever supposed to be woken up, and this little elf kid is related to basically the Zordon of our era, is like best friends with the Green Ranger when he was alive. So that's kind of an interesting story. Besides, he frees the he reanimates the Green Ranger, this little kid, by unlocking his tomb, and he comes out and just wants to destroy the Power Rangers because the Red Ranger in this case was actually his brother, and his brother. Uh, it's a long story, but basically his brother stole his position in the royal family, and he wanted to take it back. But to find out later on that the Green Ranger is already dead and he's dying already, and that's what the Green Candle's about. Isn't that the power is being sucked away from him? Is that it's his life? His life is dying, and he has no choice but to die.
Yeah.
So in this show, he actually dies. It's not a continuation of the White Ranger. He just actually dies, and they actually show him dying. And it was
Yeah.
kind of, it's really, if you were a kid watching it, you'd be like, in America, you'd be like, what just happened? You wouldn't get it. But as an adult, you go, wow, that's really deep. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you even see the Dragon Zord cry in the show. You
Yeah.
know,
We
so
have 10 minutes
it's a
left
good
because I
thing.
forgot Zoom times you. We have 10 minutes left. It's timing me, Zoom. Zoom gives you a
Oh, it's
time.
timed.
Zoom gives you a time limit.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't use Zoom. Like I said, I use StreamYard. So
Yeah, I
a
forgot to
semi
tell
there's
you.
a there's a semi time limit on StreamYard. It's 5 hours. Yeah. Okay. Well, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being on.
Yeah, no problem, man. It was nice talking to you.
Have a nice day.
And thank you. You too. And if you haven't had a chance, check out Cowabunga Ranger Talk. And if you haven't seen my channel, it's DTV83 at YouTube. So check it out and let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.
Oh, goodbye.
Bye.